So I have the fortune of having space today for myself to do some voice work in a really nice space. That opportunity just opened up, so I am embracing it wholeheartedly. And I thought this would be a good opportunity to give a little bit of insight into what a one-to-one session with me actually looks like, because I respect the confidentiality of everyone I work with, so filming is not part of the process when you come to a session. So I'm putting myself in in two roles just to give you an insight. So cup of tea is a nice place to start. My sessions tend to last either 60 minutes or 90 minutes. They're both nice chunks of time depending on how you best work, what your learning style is, what your energy levels are like. So today I have 90 minutes. So the way I am gonna flow in this space is a little bit like tea. I'm holding space for myself, but I'm gonna go take you through the same process, starting off with conversation and reflection. So how are you and how is your voice? And really going quite in depth into that inquiry, because there are many ways for us to reflect on that and to answer that. When I talk about voice and I refer to the 5 elements of voice work, I'm thinking about the voice through the lenses of the body, physiological, emotional, psychological, social and spiritual. So it's that quality of asking when somebody says, "How are you?" And then it's a layer deeper, like, how are you? How is all of you and all of these different parts? So that is the starting point, to meet someone's energy, to assess where they are, and one can start to build up a little bit of a sense of voice quality as well when you're doing a bit of a vocal health assessment, just listening to what's going on, looking at body language, breathing patterns. So that's all stuff that I'm doing as I'm also listening to, the emotional energy, and actually drawing out and picking focal points that are themes that are coming up, or stuff that's going on, things that need to be said, things that need to be expressed or released before actually moving into the more practical work. So that is the starting point, which leads nicely into then being able to get an understanding of, okay, what are my energy levels like and what are my intentions for the session. So everything I do when I work on a one-to-one basis is tailor-made. I have a framework and a structure and a learning methodology to bring into that space. But the beauty of that is I have the skills, I have the toolbox there ready to open with all of the different toys and techniques to play with. And depending on your needs and what's coming up for you and what you want to explore, or what we decide to explore together, I'm in a good position to then equip you with those and to demonstrate and to guide you through a process so that you become comfortable and familiar with using those tools yourself. So starts off with grounding. So really landing into the space, finding a comfortable, safe starting point to begin the work, and to really be present and allow the energy and the energy body just to kind of relax into the working container. So grounding then tied into body awareness, body scanning, and introducing breath work, finding a resting breath, developing safety and security within that space as a starting point to then potentially move into more active, intentional breathing patterns related to either releasing energy, feelings, hypertension, or bringing in energy, activating and energizing. So that's the starting point with breath, from a position of not trying to push it into any particular direction, but just finding your energy levels. And then from there, moving into physical warm-ups with the intention of removing extraneous tension from the body, identifying anywhere that there are holding patterns, energizing, getting the blood flowing, the circulation going, cardiovascular system working, setting ourselves up for vocalization and increased effort and activity in vocalization in a way that will enable us to flow and be at an optimum position to work safely. That is my primary concern, and the reason for going deeper into the preparatory work. You know, even over time, if you're coming back again, recurring for sessions rather than just a one-off, it's, you know, work that builds in. So as you become more comfortable with an overall sequence of opening, stretching, softening, expanding, working through all the joints and the fascia, and also continuing with the breath awareness and the body awareness, and being mindful about that whole process and reflecting on emotions and everything that's coming up as you're in that process. We're building our confidence toward a more free space where we can navigate and explore and play with our voices without the kind of the niggles of having to iron out the tension as we're going through that. So building on from the physical side of things, we're then starting to warm up the voice and invite the voice to transition from speech quality, just at this spoken level, building up to like full voiced sound or singing, or at least at that level of effort, because I do work with some students that have more of an interest or focus in working textually, but certainly the preparation that you do with vocal warm-ups for that and the crossover between speech and performative singing, they're so parallel, and there are so many amazing exercises that really integrate and support both of those. So I'm introducing different ideas, different exercises from a variety of practitioners, including theatre-based speech work and other holistic vocal practitioners, and different vocal styles as well. So bringing the vocal warm-up to a point where we're able to transition into some creative working space, and that looks a lot different for people depending on, you know, the reasons that you are exploring and what your interests are. there's an opportunity to do repertoire and to get feedback related to performance skills and presentation and preparation with that. Or to go more deeply into creative process with writing, songwriting, prompts, short exercises that are connected to finding a different channel of communication and expression for the voice. So creative time for you to express your voice in whatever format feels comfortable, and there's lots of different options there. And that being a really nurturing container to be able to put some focus energy into honing your own creative practice, but also sharing your creative practice and getting used to that social link with the opportunity of positive reinforcement and feedback and constructive criticism. So that closes that space, and then the transition towards the end of the session is really about reflections and pulling out any areas that feel that they merit more development. So from start to finish in a session, the idea is to take you and support you and be alongside you on your vocal journey. So you are leading the way, and you are determining the rate of progression and working within your own boundaries and safety perceptions, and I'm there alongside supporting you, maybe offering some signposts, certainly opening the toolbox at appropriate points to give you resources that are going to be directly relevant to the area that you're looking for assistance with. So in a nutshell, that is what one-to-one time with me looks like, and this vocal journey process is something that I have been working with and developed through my own creative practice, and I got to play with that and test that out in a community music setting, doing group work with different service users from different organisations, all different ages of people, different demographics, different ethnicities. So I've had a really incredible opportunity to test out these processes, and through this and through the monitoring and awareness of my own creative practice alongside as a live improvisatory performer and a songwriter and producer, bringing all these things together, that refinement has been what has solidified the 5 elements of Voicework approach. So I've now been employing that in one-to-one spaces with students, and also delivering workshops, an introduction to 5 elements of Voicework, which kind of demonstrate what I've just described to you succinctly here, really giving an opportunity for experience in each of the different elements to demonstrate that they are connected, they're all equally important, and they all merit development, and we may have strengths in one area more so than another area, and that's fine, and we may have, you know, weaknesses in one area over another area, and that's also fine. And we certainly are able to introduce more focus into like one particular channel, but the process of going on the journey is to bring awareness to the benefit of looking at the whole picture of voice and vocal development and connection to identity through voice, through this multidisciplinary framework, where all of these different strands are really part of the magic when they're all woven together. So I hope that gives you some insight into what is cooking in one-to-one sessions, and if that resonates with you and you would like to explore that, or to get in touch and find out a little bit more as to whether this is something that is appropriate for you, if you have a specific interest and you're not quite sure how that would fit into the context of a one-to-one session and how that would be tailored to meet your needs, please get in touch, because that is the first step, is to reach out and to get in contact with me, and that initiates a consultation process where I find out a little bit more about you, about your interests, and your habits and history and vocal health. And through that process of inquiry, that's the point at which we both come to an understanding as to whether it's a good fit for us to work together. So if so, please do reach out, and you can get in touch with me via email, leesmitchellnoble@hotmail.co.uk. You can give me a ring on 07402 871206, also on WhatsApp. And if you are interested just to read a little bit more generally about holistic voice work, what that is, or 5 elements of voice work, and understand a bit more about that process, then you can go to my website, leesmitchellnoble.com. So I look forward to hearing from you, and please feel free to share and disseminate, and keep in touch on social media, True Voice Creations, and hope to see you at some point.